San Diego Waves. And the home team, your Major League Baseball Academy Barons.
We are broadcasting live from the MLB Youth Academy as the Barons return to action here on this Tuesday evening. They had the day off yesterday and will look to continue their strong play as of late, as they've been winners of the 5 of the past 8 games. Today they'll take on the San Diego Waves. Hello everyone, my name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. The Barons ended the month of June on a high note. 8 games in their last week, 5 winners of those. They've dealt with their fair share of adversities as well, losing a few players on the roster to injuries and personal reasons. But the Barons will look to set the tone for the rest of the week as they have their first of 3 home games in the first week of July. It's currently 72 degrees in the city of Compton, a very nice evening. Temperatures have cooled off significantly from where they were at last week. Let's go ahead and introduce you to both teams. Over on the first base dugout, it's the San Diego Waves. They are one of the 3 new affiliate teams to the California Collegiate League this season. The Waves enter with a 2-4 record on the season and are coming off a 10-9 loss to the Arroyo Seco Saints. The Waves are led by head coach Jake Rico. Assistants on the staff are Lewis Cohen, Devin Linman, and Vince Colby. Like the San Diego Bombers, who we saw already twice this season, the Waves also play in the Western Baseball Association and have over 40 games scheduled from the 2 different leagues this summer. Again, they're in the first base side dugout. They're going to be in their black uniforms with a almost neon blue-like number and lettering across the chest, gray pants. And on the third base side, rocking their navy blue home uniforms, are the Academy Barons. The Barons are 7-10 on the season and are coming off a 10-6 loss to the Saints this past Sunday. The Barons are 7-3 here at the Academy this summer and have won 5 of their past 8 games to end the month of June. This is their first of 4 games this week, 3 of which will be here at home. The Barons are led by head coach Kenny Landreau, a Compton native, went to Dominguez High School, and eventually played in the major leagues for 11 seasons. Also on the Baron staffs are assistant James Bishop, Lorenzo Gray, Tank Kazarian, and pitching coach AJ Monterez. And the Waves taking on the Academy Barons here at the MLB Youth Academy for the first time this season. July 1st, happy first of the month. Can you believe it's already almost halfway through the season? This is game number 18 on the year. If you look at the upcoming schedule at a glance, the Barons, as you mentioned, have 4 games this week. 3 will be here at home. Tomorrow they take on the Philippines Baseball Group. Sunday they'll return home to take on the Orange County Riptide. In between then, on Thursday, July 3rd, they'll travel up to Santa Barbara to take on the Foresters. Both head coaches will meet with the umpiring crew at home plate. So let's go ahead and get you the starting lineup for both these teams. Starting with the visiting San Diego Waves, Austin Palmares will play short and bat leadoff. Elijah Cook bats second and plays center fielder. In the 3 spot, it's right fielder Matthew Thomas. The DH Makano Olaso will bat cleanup. In the 5 spot, it's third baseman Andreas Nilsson. Second baseman Jacob Hudson will bat 6th. In the 7th spot, it's first baseman Connor Gomez. Batting 8th is Anthony Tompkins, who will play left field. And rounding things out for the San Diego Waves and head coach Jake Rico is catcher Nate Norman. That's the starting lineup for the visiting San Diego Waves. The head coaches exchange lineups. On the mound for the top of the first, we're going to see for the Academy Barons, a right-hander who stands at 5'11", wears number 22 by the name of Matthew Lorenzano. Matthew Lorenzano played this past season at Southeast Missouri State. Currently in the transfer portal and looking to find a new home. He's a local kid. Went to Mount Sac College before Southeast Missouri State and then also spent a year at Long Beach State. We'll get a little bit more into his background throughout the broadcast as we give you the starting defense for the Academy Barons. In the outfield, it'll be Antonio Lujan in left, Alejandro Torres in center, and Jason Del Villar in right field. In the infield, Nathaniel Williams will play third. At shortstop, it's J.J. Nielsen. Chip Mertz mans second base. And at first base, Jordan Carrington gets the start for the Academy Barons. Behind home plate, we'll see Nigel Buckley, and that's the starting defense. We're going to take a break for the national anthem, but when we come back, we'll reset those defense and the lineups for you. The Waves taking on the Academy Barons. It's game number 18, exactly the halfway point, as after tonight, the Barons will have 17 more games left on the schedule. They're 7-10 on the year. The Waves are 2-4. We mentioned the Waves also play in the Western Baseball Association, so that's why they have fewer games. They're an affiliate team here in the CCL, which means they can't play any home games. Them, the Bombers, and the Philippines Baseball Group have all been on the road this entire summer league season. While we have the time, so I'll also get you a look at the CCL South standings. In first place, it's the Santa Barbara Foresters at 14-4. The Conejo Oaks are right behind them, 2 games back at 12-6. The Saints are 1 game back of the Oaks at a record of 10-6. The Riptide are 9-10, a game and a half, or a half game under 500. And they're 1 game up on the Academy Barons, who are 7-10. Then the Waves round out the CCL South standings at 2-4. Bombers 2-7. Philippines Baseball Group 1-10. But if you look at the playoff picture, they take the top 3, and the Foresters play in the NBC postseason. So right now it'd be the Oaks, Saints, and Riptide. If the Barons can manage to outduel the Riptide for that final third spot, they would be in the postseason here at the end of the 2025 season. That would be the very final week of the year that would take place. As we give you a better date, that week of Sunday, or Monday, sorry, the week of July 28th, it's a Monday, that's when the playoffs would take place. I believe they would have a wild card game between the 2 and 3 seed, and then the 1 seed would take on the winner of that game before playing the winner of the North. Again, that's a long ways away. The Barons still have to win games like this one against the San Diego Waves this afternoon. We'll cut to that commercial break for the national anthem and come back with the first inning. Back here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel, the Barons taking on the San Diego Waves for the first time here at home this season. The Barons are 7-10, the Waves are 2-4. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups for the visiting Waves ahead of the top of the first. Batting the leadoff spot at shortstop, Austin Palmares. In the 2 spot at center fielder, Elijah Cook. Batting third and playing right field is Matthew Thomas. Makano Olaso will do the DH duties for the Waves and bat cleanup. In the 5 spot, it's third baseman Andreas Nilsson. Second baseman Jacob Hudson will bat 6th. In the 7th spot, it's Connor Gomez who will play first. Anthony Tompkins, the left fielder, will bat 8th. And rounding out the order for the visiting Waves is catcher Nate Norman. That's how the starting lineup looks for head coach Jake Arrico. Also on the staffs are Lewis Cohen, Devlin Lindman, and Vince Colby. On the mound here in the top of the first inning, we'll see Matthew Lorenzano, 5'11", a right-hander from Southern California, a native here to the area. Spent this past spring at Southeast Missouri State, currently in the transfer portal, looking for a new home. We'll get you the rest of the defense throughout the inning, as here's the first pitch from Lorenzano, a swing and a miss from Austin Palmares. In the outfield, it'll be Antonio Lujan in left, Alejandro Torres in center, Jason Del Villar in right field. Foul tips this into the glove. A quick 0-2 count on the shortstop. Palmares makes his 4th start on the season, hitting .286 on the year. Lorenzano from the windup plunks the batter on the 3rd pitch, had him in an 0-2 count. So first base runner for the Waves. In the infield, for the Barons, Nathaniel Williams will play third. At shortstop, J.J. Nielsen. Chip Mertz plays second. And at first base, it's Jordan Carrington. Behind home plate, it's Nigel Buckley. That's the starting defense for the Academy Barons. Lorenzano makes his 3rd start of the season. Elijah Cook, second batter, drops this to Mertz. And the batter is out. Mertz tried to double up the runners. Soft line drive on the first pitch of that at-bat for out number 1. So Mertz had the line drive going right to him, and he intentionally dropped it, hoping to double up the runner. But the second base umpire was all over it, called the batter out. In steps Matthew Thomas, the right fielder. Breaking ball in for strike 1. For Lorenzano, we'll see a fastball, cutter, sinker, slider, and a changeup. 5-pitch arsenal for the right-hander. This one misses outside. 1-1 the count. Fastball lives 86 to 88. Matthew Thomas steps back in. The 1-1 driven into center field. Torres racing back towards the track, looks over his shoulder, and it hits the batter's eye. A moonshot there for the San Diego Waves, and they go up 2-0. The visiting team strikes first here on this Tuesday evening. Pitch caught a lot of the plate, a fastball. Traveled 420 feet, 103 exit velocity off Thomas's bat. 2-0 is the score. Barons trail in the top of the first, 1 out. In steps Makana Olaso. Olaso spent this past season as a redshirt at the University of Hawaii. One on the count. Before that, Olaso was at Palomar College down in San Marcos. Slaps this into right field, drifting away from Del Villar. It'll fall for a base hit. Olaso takes the turn. So a double follows the home run. Second hit of the afternoon for the San Diego Waves.
For the Waves, number 22, third baseman, Andreas.
As a team this season in the CCL, the Waves are hitting .261, pretty close to what the Barons are hitting this year at .271. Olaso, the runner, at second. Andreas Nilsson now steps in. Lorenzano keeps an eye on the runner at second. Delivers home, and it's outside for ball one. Nilsson played this past season at Saddleback Community College. 5 players on the roster for the Waves from Saddleback. One of the better programs in the community college landscape, especially in Southern California. They won the state championship in 2024. 2 balls and no strikes to Nilsson. He drives this into right field. Del Villar to his left, makes the catch on the run. And that keeps Olaso at second base. Not an easy play for the right fielder. Out number 2. A runner still in scoring position. In steps Jacob Hudson. Hudson, another player from Saddleback Community College. Two outs. Runner on second. 2-0 is the score. First time the Barons see the Waves this season. First pitch from Lorenzano into center field. Olaso gets held up at third base. Runners at the corners. Third hit of the afternoon for the San Diego Waves. In steps Connor Gomez. So not the best of starts for Lorenzano. In his last outing against the Philippines baseball group just a week ago on June 24th, pitched 5 innings, didn't give up any runs, allowed 5 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. In 9 innings this summer, he has an ERA of 4 flat. Third start of the season. First pitch to Gomez. Foul behind us, out of play. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Hudson has a small lead at first base. This gets past Buckley behind home plate. Olaso dashes for home. No throw. Buckley wasn't able to recover in time. 3-0 is the score. Buckley that time went with the backhand on a pitch outside him in the dirt. Cost the Barons a run. 3-0, top of the first. Runner at second base is Hudson. The 1-1 pitch on the paint for strike 2. The 1-2 from Lorenzano. On the edge, ring him up. That's strike 3. Gomez goes down looking for the third and final out of the top of the first inning, but not before the Waves pick up 3 runs here in the top of the first. So they strike first in this evening's ball game. Thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and get you the starting lineup for the host Academy Barons. Lineup by Kenny Landreau, the manager. And the leadoff spot, it's second baseman Chip Mertz. Nathaniel Williams will bat second and play third. Antonio Lujan will bat in the 3 spot and play left field. Right fielder Jason Del Villar bats in the cleanup spot. Batting 5th and doing the DH duties is Tommy Gooden. In the 6th spot, it's catcher Nigel Buckley. Alejandro Torres will play center and bat 7th. Nielsen in the 8th spot. the shortstop for the Barons this afternoon. And rounding out the order, batting ninth for Kenny Landreau is Jordan Carrington, who gets the start at first base. On the mound for the San Diego Waves, it's a right-hander by the name of Holden Garcia. Garcia is a native to Bakersfield, and he's bounced around quite a bit at the collegiate level. This past season, he played at Monterey Peninsula Community College. Stands at 6'2", a right-hander. Again, native to Bakersfield, playing for the San Diego Waves this summer. The defense behind him will look like this. In the outfield, it's Anthony Tompkins in left, Elijah Cook in center field, Matthew Thomas in right. In the infield, it's Andreas Nilsson at third base. Austin Palmares will play short. At second, Jacob Hudson, and Connor Gomez at first base. Behind home plate, it's Nate Norman. That's the starting defense for the visiting San Diego Waves. They're in their black uniforms, gray pants. Academy Barons are in their home navy blue uniforms, white pants. They already trailed 3-0, in case you're just tuning in. Game number 1 of 3 this week at the Academy. Tomorrow night, as well as Sunday afternoon. A couple more opportunities for you to check out the Barons this summer. Right off the 91 freeway here on the campus of Compton College. Mert steps in. Here's the first pitch. In there for a strike from Garcia. Mertz just finished his senior season at Canyon High School. Continue playing baseball at Mount Sac. The Mounties, they just won the state championship at the community college level. One on the count. Mertz fans at that one. Out in front. 1-2. Mertz hits from the left side. Plays second base. Down and away. Mertz chases. That's out number 1. First strikeout victim for Holden Garcia.
For the Barons, third baseman number 6, Nathaniel Williams.
Garcia makes his second start on the season. He started once before. That was on June 24th against the Orange County Riptide. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 walk. No runs came across in an 11-2 victory for the San Diego Waves. A chopper over to second base. No problem for Hudson. Hudson on the first in time for out number 2. Barons lost their last game 10-6 to the Arroyo Seco Saints, but before that, the Barons had won 5 of their past 7. Still 5 of their past 8 games have been winners. They're 7-3 now at home. Have yet to win their first game on the road. The Waves are 2-4. They played so few games because they're still playing games in the WBA, the Western Baseball Association. First pitch to Lujan on the ground for the shortstop. Palmares to his right. Cleanly thrown over to first base. And just like that, off 6 pitches, the Barons are retired 1-2-3. So Garcia hardly broke a sweat. Very similar start to how the Barons got things started on Sunday's game against the Saints. When we come back, we'll have the top of the second. And due up for the Waves are the 8-9-1 hitters after this. Back here on the MLB Youth Academy, Barron's YouTube channel. Final throwdown for Nigel Buckley. Lorenzano returns to the mound. He gave up 3 runs in the first inning off 3 hits, only used 18 pitches. But the Waves were effective, jumping on the early pitches. It was a 2-run home run by Matthew Thomas to straightaway center that got the scoring started when Palmares was at first base. Then Alasso followed that with a double and scored on a wild pitch when Connor Gomez was at the plate. High chopper, left side of the infield. Nielsen charges, throws to first in time. First pitch out to begin the top of the second. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Every time we have a home game, we'll go live about 10 minutes before, and when you subscribe, you'll get a notification on your screen or whatever device you use. 1 out for the catcher, Nate Norman. First pitch on the edge for strike 1. Lorenzano's a native to West Covina, went to South Hills High School, and committed to Long Beach State. On the ground, just past the third baseman, and it gets into the left field corner. An extra base hit for Norman and the Waves. So it'll be a ground rule double, as Lujan had trouble with it in the corner. Sometimes it gets under that wedge right there between the wall and the ground. So ground rule double for Nate Norman, 4th hit of the afternoon, a runner in scoring position. Lorenzano back to work from the stretch. In steps Austin Palmares. Palmares went around. In the very first at-bat of the game, Palmares was down 0-2, but hit on the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. He eventually came in to score on the home run by Matthew Thomas. Ball that traveled 420 feet to straightaway center. Right on the edge for strike 2. Get a much different start already to the outing for Lorenzano. He was lights out last Tuesday against the Philippines baseball group. 5 innings, no runs allowed, 6 strikeouts. The 0-2 down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the shortstop. He only made 2 appearances for Long Beach State in 2023. Missed the rest of the season due to an injury. Bounced back to Mount Sac in 2024. Outside for ball 2. At Mount Sac, he was very productive for the Mounties. He started 15 games, pitched 90 innings, finished with a record of 10-2 and an ERA of 3.81. 87 strikeouts in 90 innings. That earned him a scholarship to Southeast Missouri State. Palmares is the second strikeout victim of the afternoon. 2 outs in the top of the second. Norman still at second base. In steps Elijah Cook, another former Palomar College player. There's a few of those on the roster here. Macano Alasso in the starting lineup as well from Palomar Community College. Big chunk of the roster from either Palomar College or from Saddleback Community College. First pitch to Cook, down and away. Cook spent this past season at Azusa Pacific, entered the transfer portal, and is now going to play at the University of Oregon. Very talented fielder in center field. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 seasons ago, when working with Santa Ana College, we made a trip down to Palomar for the playoff games and had a chance to watch Elijah Cook in center field. Made a couple spectacular plays that weekend. Offers and misses that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Covers a lot of ground in center field. Long pause from Lorenzano. Here's another pitch, a breaking ball. Cook comes up empty. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, a runner on second. Cook makes his 4th start of the season, hits .286 at the plate. He hit the line drive on the very first pitch to Mertz in the first inning. Misses the zone. A bit high and inside of the target. Full count. Batter on deck is Matthew Thomas, the right fielder. Lorenzano kicks, steals the 3-2. Ring up Elijah Cook. That's strikeout number 3 of the outing for Lorenzano. Does a nice job of working around the 2 or the 1 out double. On to the bottom of the second. Due up for the Academy Barons is the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Jason Del Villar will get things started when we come back from this break. Bottom of the second inning. 4, 5, 6 due up for the Barons. Jason Del Villar, Tommy Gooden, and Nigel Buckley are the 3 batters due up. First time the Barons are seeing the Waves this season. The Waves, one of 3 new affiliate teams here to the California Collegiate League South Division. We saw the San Diego Bombers early as the first game of the season. The Philippines baseball group we saw for the first time last week on Tuesday. We'll see them again tomorrow evening here at the Academy. And the third team, new to the CCL South, is the San Diego Waves. Like the Bombers, the Waves also play in the Western Baseball Association, another summer league team based out of San Diego, or summer league based out of San Diego. So they have a very full schedule on deck for them as well, over 40 games between both leagues. Jason Del Villar steps in, first batter of the bottom of the second. First pitch finds the zone. Del Villar is a native to Corona. Went to Corona Centennial. Spent this past season at Sonoma State. Two straight strikes to begin the at-bat from Holden Garcia. Del Villar hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 7th in Sunday's game against the Saints. Cut the deficit to 4. 10-6 was ended up being the final score in that one. Outside for ball 1. Out of high school, Del Villar went to San Bernardino Valley Junior College. Spent 2 seasons there before transferring to Sonoma State. Del Villar behind on that breaking ball, and that's the second strikeout for Holden Garcia this afternoon. First out of the inning. Now we'll see Tommy Gooden. Garcia only used 6 pitches to get out of the first inning, so the Barons want to make him work a bit more here. Second start of the season for Garcia. Played at 2 different community colleges the past 2 seasons. Gooden drives this one into left center field, goes back as Tompkins, and he has enough room to make the catch. Out number 2. Another 1-pitch out. If you go back to Sunday's game against the Arroyo Seco Saints, the starter, Zachary Erdman, Went 5 innings and only used 53 pitches, an extremely efficient start. He got a lot of 1-pitch outs. He had a 5-pitch first inning, a 9-pitch second inning. And Holden Garcia having a very similar start thus far. In steps Nigel Buckley with 2 outs. Nobody on base. Downstairs for ball 1. Buckley just finished his freshman season at Cal State Dominguez Hills. On the edge for strike 1. Garcia played this past season at Monterey Peninsula, made 10 appearances. The season before that, he made 6 appearances for San Joaquin Delta Community College up north in the city of Stockton. Chopper over to the first baseman, a very high hop, reaches, tosses over to his pitcher in time. Garcia records the 3rd and final out of the inning, 3-1. Only 14 pitches through 2 innings for Holden Garcia. Another 1-2-3 inning. My name is Noah Alvarez, saying thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. An interview scheduled coming up in the top of the 3rd. Don't go anywhere, folks. So top of the 3rd inning here, we'll have the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the San Diego Waves. And joining us on the broadcast is a pitcher of our own for the Academy Barons this summer, Hudson La Barbera. How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you for making the time to go on. So the first question I want to ask you is, how did the opportunity to come play for the Academy Barons pop up?
Well, I've always been a big fan of the CCL and the competition that's in it. So last year I was with the Sunrays, saw kind of how the academy was working. So I hit up TJ, asked him for the opportunity, and here we are.
1-1 the count, or 2-0 the count now, as Lorenzano falls behind Thomas. You're a native to Marietta, but you also went to Orange Coast College. How did you end up from the IE in Orange County?
So didn't have any big offers in high school and figured the JUCO route was kind of the way to go. It was between that and RCC, but Altabelli was there at the time. He had a lot of high hopes for me, and I just thought it would be a good opportunity for me kind of get the college career going.
This past season, you played at Sonoma State. How did the opportunity end up to allowed you to go there?
So, Sonoma State, that was kind of a tricky one because it was I took a gap year. I worked at UPS for a little bit. They wanted me that year prior. Coach Geltz was just like, the opportunity will still be there for you if you want to come back down. Then it was this year I decided to go pitcher only, so just kind of went that way with it.
To lead off walk for the San Diego Waves, Thomas reaches first. Macano Olaso will now make his way to the batter's box. Again, we're here with Hudson La Barbera, a reliever here for the Academy Barons. How are you enjoying this summer compared to last summer with the Sunrays?
Oh, I love the Barons. We like to say it's big league because it really is. I mean, we got our own clubhouses. We got great training staff. We got great coaches. I think this has been the most fun baseball season I've had in a little bit, to be honest with you. Everyone's gelled really well. I think we have a really talented group. I think we can do some good things, get on a little hot streak here. And, yeah, I'm happy to be a Baron for sure.
You mentioned the coaches. What's one thing you've already learned early on in the season from them?
They keep it real. You know, KT runs a tight ship out here. I think AJ, he's a really down-to-earth guy, and they all at the end of the day, they want to get you better, and you can see it with just how they talk to you. You know, Bishop and everybody, and it's a good environment to be around because everyone's always been chopping it up about hitting or pitching, and the coach is always just trying to, you know, they want you to chop at their brain and just get the knowledge they have from them.
Driven well into left field, Lujan will look up and watch that leave the ballpark.
Shoot.
2-run home run here by Makano Alaso makes it a 5-0 game. We're here with Hudson La Barbera. How did you get into baseball? Did you have any older siblings or family members that played?
The culprit for why I like baseball so much is my grandpa. He from a very young age, that was kind of his sport. He was a Mets fan, grew up in New York, and you know, he egged my mom on along to get me into the Little League, and ever since I think my first team was Volcanoes, it's been quite the ride. Been a big fan of baseball since.
In steps the third baseman Andreas Nilsson. Nobody out, nobody on base. Did you play any other sports growing up?
You know, we had a moment with football for about 3 months. And then summer camp was rolling around, and I was not down for that. I wanted to travel to Arizona with the fellas and go play out there. So, no, nothing with that. I'll play basketball, a little pickup just to keep the legs moving because, you know, as a pitcher, you're on the mound, but you're not really doing any running like the hitters during the game. So just to keep me moving, I'll play some basketball.
Did you have a favorite athlete or baseball player growing up?
Number 7, second baseman Jacob Hudson.
Favorite athlete? That's a tough one. I would probably say, I'm a Yankees fan. I'm down with Judge right now. I would say everyone looked up to Trout, just being a grew up around Orange County, grew up in the Empire. That was the guy. You know, you go out to see him steal a couple bags and hit a couple bombs.
Have you ever been to a Yankee game?
Never in Yankee Stadium.
Never in Yankee Stadium.
I've been to plenty of Angels games, and that's basically a Yankee game. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I have, yes. It does turn in like 70-30 Yankee fans.
Oh my goodness. The right field line is just all blue and white.
Yeah.
And then you get a little sprinkles of red in here and there. Been a couple. I went to the Dodgers Yankees for the first time. That was an experience. And yeah, that's about it. We're gonna go to New York soon, for sure.
2-2 is the count to Jacob Hudson. We're here with Hudson La Barbera. 1 out. 5-0 is the score. Advantage San Diego Waves. So this past season, Sonoma State announced that they were going to discontinue all 11 of their athletic programs. Where were you when you heard the news, and what was your immediate reaction?
I was being a lazy college student, not doing homework. I was scrolling on the couch, and my roommate comes in, screaming and hollering, and he's like, "Dude, you're not gonna believe this." And the email, it was really funny. The email we all got, it was like a bunch of information about the cuts, and then get to make that play. Dang. And then the last paragraph was, "Oh, by the way, we're also cutting athletics." So I was like, "You gotta be kidding me."
Yeah.
So they didn't handle it well. You know, I think they would say the same thing for sure. But it was whatever. We're all finding our way now.
How did that last season go with all of you on the roster, knowing that you guys wouldn't be back for another season?
Really, it would just, you know, as college students, you just kind of turn anything kind of serious into a joke. So it was all just funny and games, you know, with the president making jokes about her, and we're just like, we'll figure out a way. We're all talented baseball players. I think the message was just go out with a bang, you know, prove everybody wrong, because there was a lot of news outlets who was kind of covering us. We had a lot of coverage, so we wanted to be the team that was to remember. Unfortunately, couldn't really put it all together, but Yeah, I think the message was just put it all out there because there's not another season, you know.
Jason Del Villar was also a member of Sonoma State. Did you have a chance to get to know him before you guys played for the Barons together this summer?
So I didn't join the team till spring, and he played in fall, got hurt in spring. So he was around here and there. Didn't really talk to. Actually, we were locker mates, but he wasn't around too much. So this year we've gotten to be better friends. Still kind of tough. He's hitting, I'm pitching, so I'm in the bullpen chopping up. He's trying to get ready to hit 90. So I've gotten to be better friends with him for sure. We talk about like our time and experience there too. Just kind of seeing if it was similar and stuff.
1-1 the count to Connor Gomez. Hudson is the runner at first base after the walk, 1 out. Again, we're here with Hudson La Barbera, one of the pitchers here for the Academy Barons this summer.
I will say I didn't realize Jason raked. He rakes.
He does rake. He's had the opposite field home run that he hit last, or was it Sunday? Man, that was pretty impressive.
I couldn't even go backside back in the day.
When was the last time you had an at-bat?
Fall this last year. And my last AB was a single.
Okay.
So we'll take it. Ended off on a good note.
Was it hard for you to give up hitting and just focus on pitching?
Oh, for sure. In high school and in junior college, I had interest from schools, and I had in high school I had big league teams like saying I had the talent for sure, but the biggest thing. Oh dang. Biggest thing, I just couldn't put it together. Just with the mental side of it, I always had the tools for it, so I respected putting it down. So, but now I'm really falling in love with the process of pitching. All the build up towards it, especially being a reliever. Do hours of work, and then it's like 2 or 3 innings. So I've come to love being a pitcher for sure.
Now, when it comes to like the major leagues, NL adopted the DH. Do you miss seeing pitchers hit at all?
I kind of wish that rule came back now that I say that. I do. I think Tom Brady said it or someone said it, but they said it's really important for an athlete to be able to perform on both sides of the ball. And I kind of believe that too, where you should be able to perform offensively and defensively. But I also see the argument where you got to just, you play a role. So either you're a really good defensive guy or you're just a pitcher doing a job. But in my opinion, I like it. I like when pitchers rake. I think it's fun.
2 outs after Connor Gomez strikes out looking. Lorenzano now faces the left fielder Anthony Tompkins.
In Japan, they still do.
They still hit?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
They always bunt, though. It's a problem.
Yeah. I feel like there was a lot of that, too, when there was a guy on base in the NL, right?
Yeah. If no one's on, swing away. But a large majority of Japanese pitchers, they bunt.
It was fun to watch, like, the handful of guys like Bumgarner,
Oh,
Greinke.
man.
Those guys took it serious, but I would say majority of starting pitchers are pretty bad at it.
Mm-hmm. Come on. Yeah, Bumgarner, what was it like? He hit like 2 homers in a game, threw 6 shutouts. I mean, come on. And then Greinke had a smooth swing. But to be fair, it was few and far in between for starting pitchers who could rake.
Right.
So, there was a lot of waste ABs. So I definitely understand where they're going from. But those were some Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo Colon.
I was there for the homer in San Diego.
No way. Were you really?
It's a little – the image is a little blurry, but I'm in the shot.
Okay. So Lorenzano's able to pick up another strikeout of Anthony Tompkins here. On to the bottom of the third we go. We'll have Hudson La Barbera still on.
Yeah. I'll finish the game with you.
You mentioned you'll finish the game. You mentioned you went to San Diego. Is there a favorite ballpark that you've been to in the major leagues?
Oh, man. San Diego's incredible, for sure. I had the opportunity to go to Chicago.
Ooh, Wrigley?
Yeah, and that was just special because I was able to stay because there was a rain delay for like a half an hour. So I was in there when there was like 1,000 people. And I just remember like Starlin Castro and Ben Zobrist, they were warming up right in front of me. They was waving high. And just the vibe of that ballpark and just the memories I had, I think I'm a little biased. So I'm going to say Chicago.
Okay.
Sleeper pick, some would say.
There you go. I like the sound of that. In the bottom of the third, we'll see the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Alejandro Torres will lead things off, followed by J.J. Nielsen and Jordan Carrington. Again, we're here with Hudson La Barbera. Barons trail 5-0 to the San Diego Waves. You spent a season at Orange Coast College, and I want you to go back, and I know there was a big change, obviously, in Orange Coast College that year in 2020.
Yeah.
What was the vibe like when you were there a couple seasons later?
So the year after Alto and like that was a crazy transition. I would definitely say the vibe was different. I think we all were still trying to, like, that team was still the same team from 2019. So we all still kind of had the same goal. We were all still under Alto, but there was a lot of big changes for sure. I think I would say the year after that, once we won the conference and all that, that was probably the biggest change. A lot of new faces, like a new regiment going on, new coach. That was probably the biggest change.
Where were you when you got the news about the helicopter crash with Kobe Bryant and John Otabelli?
I was at my apartment, and nice. I was in my apartment. It was about like 8:30 or something like that, and a teammate of mine named MJ Gabladon, he called me and he said, "You need to get your butt to the field right now." I'm like, "What's going on?" He says Alto was in the helicopter with Kobe. I was still sleeping, so I didn't check my phone. I didn't know what he was talking about. Check my phone. I tell my roommate, Chris Ortiz, I say, "Hey, we got to go to the field." And it was the weirdest vibe, man. We go to the field. It's cloudy. It's foggy, and everyone's quiet. We had guys, we had a 22 in left field. They were hanging under there. People were just talking, like trying to just kind of wrap their heads around what's going on. It was crazy. I only knew Alto for about 7 months, but he was definitely an impactful coach. I mean, he made his presence known. He cared about all his players. That was a crazy time for sure, for sure.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
The Barons have a runner on second after Torres reaches on the error, an error on the second baseman, Jacob Hudson. So runner in scoring position, 0-1 the count to J.J. Nielsen. Now an 0-2 count. Do you have a favorite baseball movie of all time?
It was Moneyball, and then I realized it got Hollywooded. I didn't really like the whole relationship with David Justice and all them.
Mm-hmm.
That was phony because they actually got along great. Mm-hmm. But I would say my favorite baseball movie is the one as the Detroit. He's a Detroit Tiger. He's throwing the perfect game or the no hitter. It is like For the Love of the Game.
For the Love of the Game.
I should know the name if it's my favorite movie. But yeah, that's my favorite for sure. Okay. I like that one.
Do you have a favorite thing to snack on in the bullpen or the dugout?
I would say, well, right now I got gummy worms in the bag.
Okay.
But I would say consistently I'm bringing like Mac salad.
Okay.
Kind of a meal thing. I try not to eat too much during the game. I would say some kind of sugar.
Okay.
Definitely some kind of sugar.
A lot of players, when I've had them on here, they're big fans of the gummy clusters. Do you care for those at all?
That's a Jimmy thing, man. That's a Jimmy Welsher thing. He brought that on.
He brought that on?
Yeah. He, before we get here, we always stop at the gas station. He's getting something like that.
Okay, right on. In steps Jordan Carrington. Appealed down to the third base umpire, said he did go around on the first pitch.
Definitely say sugar, though. I think we're all just giant kids. We all need a sugar rush before we get out there.
Carrington lines this one into center field. It gets past Cook. Torres will score. Carrington gunning for extra bases. Takes the turnaround two. They send him home. Here's the play at the plate. Norman applies the tag. Carrington got by. Oh, goodness. The throw was there in time, but Carrington using that athleticism.
Inside the park, number 15, Jordan Carrington.
It would have been cool if we had an instant replay of that. Those are one of those moments where I wish we had instant replay at like all levels. Wow.
That was crazy.
That was crazy. Unbelievable. So it's now a 5-2 game. 1 out in the inning. Mertz steps into the batter's box. It's still early on in the season, but what's been your favorite memory here with the Barons this summer?
I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty. That might slide over to the top spot.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think it's all been really fun. It's all, showing up to the ballpark and just seeing all the guys in the clubhouse. We're all just laughing, having a good time. Just, summer's only about 2 months, but we all gel quick just because we kind of know that. I would say, I'm going to say, just really, there hasn't been a low light.
Okay.
Other than my last appearance. That was a tough one.
What do you tell yourself when you're on the mound and you have whether it's a tough outing or you're thrown into a tough situation?
I like to say to myself, when I'm in the bullpen, I kind of get myself riled up. I'll say something like, they're trying to take my money, man. I got to make my money out there, so if I don't do my job, can't pay rent. So something like that. Telling myself I don't fear anybody. I don't care who's in the box. Just kind of mannerisms to get me going.
Gotcha. Were you ever a starter at any point in your pitching career, and what's the difference in how you prep for a start versus a reliever?
I started a lot in high school, and I was kind of like I was the main starter for my travel team. I only played a year of high school ball. I decided to do travel ball my freshman, senior year, or freshman, sophomore, junior year, and then played my senior high school. And then I actually started one game last year for the Sunrays against you guys. That was a pretty good start. But I've mainly enjoyed relieving. I kind of like just the process of that more, just to put everything out there for 2 innings, maybe just 1 inning.
So Mertz goes down via the strikeout. Out number 2 in the inning. Barons trail by 3. In steps Nathaniel Williams. Now I noticed you and Jimmy Welsher, sometimes Adrian, you guys are always usually hitting grounders when the team takes BP. Is that something you volunteered for, or you just kind of got called upon?
You know what? It's the hitter in me still want to swing it.
Okay.
So the best way you could do it is hit some good fungos to the fellas.
Okay.
And I can't sit still, so I got to do something. And sitting out in the outfield just shagging, doesn't work for me. So
Okay.
if I can help out the guys and get some jitters out, I'll gladly hit some fungos. And it was just dang. I wasn't volunteered. I chose to do it.
Okay. So that's a third out here in the bottom of the third. Again, we were here with Hudson La Barbera. We appreciate you for coming on.
Yes,
This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to see the inside park, the home run together, too. That was fun. But again, best of luck this summer, and we hope to have you on soon,
Cool.
okay?
Thank you.
New pitcher here in the top of the fourth in a 5-2 game. Pitching for the Barons, wearing number 29, right-hander by the name of Sebastian Diaz. Stands at 5'11". Pitched this past season at Southwest Oklahoma State. Diaz's first pitch fouled into the right side, out of play. Carrington gave chase. It's 9-1-2. Due up for the San Diego Waves. They picked up 3 runs in the first inning, 2 in the third. We'll get you the final line for Matthew Lorenzano later on in the broadcast. Breaking ball, misses inside. 1-1 the count. Barons picked up 2 runs in the third inning, thanks to the errors made by the Waves defense. 2 errors to be exact. An error by the second baseman Jacob Hudson and an error by the center fielder Elijah Cook. 2 balls and 1 strike. With the runner on second, Carrington was able to hit a ball into center field, and it was a single. It would have been an RBI, but it got away from Cook all the way to the wall. Carrington was able to score on the inside of the park home run. Pretty exciting play at home plate. One of those plays you wish you had instant replay for, because the throw beat him, but he was still able to maneuver around the tag. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Norman. Misses high and inside with the breaking ball. The 3-2 misses the edge. That's ball 4. Close miss there for Diaz, and it's a leadoff base runner for the Waves. They lead 5-2, top of the fourth. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. 2 home runs already for the Waves. One off the bat of Macano Alasso, another off the bat of Matthew Thomas. In steps Austin Palmares. Pulls back the bunt attempt. Still in there for a strike. 0-1, a runner on first, nobody out. Also in the zone for strike 2. Diaz played 2 seasons at Cypress College before transferring on to Concordia. Skies this into the air, out of play, right side. After a season at Concordia, transferred to Southwestern Oklahoma State. Redshirted in 2024, made 10 appearances this past season. 4 starts, finished with an ERA of 6.49 in 26 innings. Liner right to Williams. Williams gloves it for out number 1. Nice reaction time at the hot corner. Just stuck his left paw out there and made the grab for out number 1. Norman was close to the bag at first, so no play to double them off. In steps Elijah Cook. He's 0 for 2. Looks to redeem himself after the error in center field. Owen won the count as he fouls this off to the left side. High into the air. Lujan goes back towards the wall. Runs out of room, but makes the catch right up against the wall for out number 2. So Cook just missed that one. Would have been the third home run of the game had it left the yard. Let's see if we can get the TrackMan distance on that. No distance on that one, but it did exit the ballpark at 92 miles per hour. About a few feet from leaving the ballpark. Instead, it's out number 2. In there for strike 1. 2 outs, runner on first for Matthew Thomas. He's 1 for 1, had the 2-run home run in the first inning. Drew a walk and came around to score in the third. Chopper foul towards the dugout. So we have Lorenzano's final line. 3 innings, 60 pitches. Allowed 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, and picked up 5 strikeouts. The Barons currently trail 5-2. Diaz takes over on the mound. Runner on first. Carrington holds. The 0-2 misses upstairs. This is the 4th appearance for Sebastian Diaz, all out of the pen for the Barons this summer. On the ground for Nielsen at short. It gets past Nielsen into center field. The inning continues. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. In steps Macano Alasso. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Alasso is a player currently at the University of Hawaii, but before that, had a pretty dominant season in 2024 with Palomar Community College. Hit 20 home runs, had 76 RBIs in just 1 season. He was named to the All-State team. Smacks this in the air, right field and deep. Del Villar back towards the track. Has enough room to make the catch. Allowed out number 3, but Alasso is retired. No runs come across for Diaz and the Barons. We'll stay on during this inning break. Thanks again for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. 2 more home games this week. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, you can always tune into the live stream. We'll go live about 10 minutes before first pitch. Tomorrow's first pitch scheduled at 6:05. Sunday against the Riptide scheduled now at 4:05. Those are the 2 upcoming home games for the Academy Barons. In the bottom of the 4th, we'll see the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Antonio Lujan, Jason Del Villar, and Tommy Gooden. The Barons only have 1 hit in today's contest. It was the single by Jordan Carrington that ended up scoring 2 runs. Both runs are unearned for the Academy Barons. Alejandro Torres reached on an error by the second baseman. I think Carrington should have been limited to a single, but got all the way home due to the error in center field by Elijah Cook. Still on the mound is Holden Garcia. A rather efficient start, 28 pitches through 3 innings. Making his second start of the summer season for the San Diego Waves. Also coming up on the schedule, in between the 2 home games, the Barons will travel to Santa Barbara to take on the Foresters on Thursday, July 3rd. The league will have 4th of July off. The Barons have the 5th of July on Saturday off and return back home at the Academy for Sunday afternoon baseball, closer to evening time. 4 p.m. first pitch scheduled on Sunday. That change was just recently announced on the website earlier today. So 6:05 tomorrow, 4 p.m. Sunday. If you can't make it out to the ballpark, be sure to tune in to the live stream. Barons are 7-10, Waves are 2-4. Barons are winners of 5 of their past 8 games as they look to near 500 with the win here today. Would put them at 8-10. Only 1 game behind the Orange County Riptide. We'll keep an eye on what they got going on here tonight in the standings. First pitch to Lujan is in there for strike 1. Lujan is a switch hitter. Hits from the left side with a righty on the mound. 1-1 the count. Garcia played at 2 different community colleges, and in 2023, spent a season at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Only made 6 appearances for the Mustangs, and then bounced back to the community college level. Two on the count to Lujan. Here's Garcia's pitch. It runs inside. 3-1 the count. Again, a big thanks to Hudson La Barbera for hopping on the broadcast with us in the top of the 3rd inning and most of the bottom of the 3rd. Five-pitch walk to lead off the inning. Lujan and the Barons have a leadoff base runner. Bottom of the 4th, Barons are trailing by 3. In steps Jason Del Villar. Del Villar, we talked about it with Hudson La Barbera, also went to Sonoma State. Sonoma State announced that all 11 athletic programs will be canceled or discontinued after this past school year. So Del Villar and La Barbera looking for new homes this summer. Runner on first, nobody out. First pitch strike to Del Villar. On the inner part of the zone for strike 2. Del Villar makes his 15th start of the season, which currently is the most by any player on the roster for the Barons. Started the past 4 games at first base with the injury to Trevor Schmidt today in right field. Downstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strong discipline there by Del Villar to lay off that pitch. Del Villar hits .321 on the season. Another pitch, breaking ball downstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Del Villar is second on the team with 12 RBIs this year. Picked up his first home run in Sunday's loss to the Arroyo Seco Saints. Foul tips this one. Or no foul tip, it was a swing and a miss. It got past the catcher's glove. On the pass ball, Lujan advances to second base. First out of the inning. Second time that Del Villar is retired via the strikeout in today's contest. The Riptide do have a game tonight to take on the San Diego Bombers. We mentioned the Riptide, a game up on the Barons in the standings. No score from that game as things are just getting started. In steps Tommy Gooden. The DH had a quiet game on Sunday, 0 for 4 against the Saints. Downstairs. He flew out to left field in the first inning. Freshman spent this past season at Vanderbilt, was a redshirt. On the ground for the first baseman. Gomez steps on the bag for the second out of the inning. 3 unassisted. Lujan is now at third. So productive out nonetheless for Tommy Gooden. A runner 90 feet away for the Academy Barons. Let's see if they can cash in. In steps Nigel Buckley. Now there'll be a quick mound visit. The catcher will come to talk with the pitcher, Holden Garcia. Nate Norman behind home plate. Looked like the pitching coach, Lewis Cohen, had a very quick conversation. Let's reset that defense for you as well for the Waves. Anthony Tompkins in left, Elijah Cook in center, Matthew Thomas in right. Across the infield, Andreas Nilsson at third, Austin Palmeiras at short. And at second base, Jacob Hubson. You just saw Connor Gomez make a play at first base, and Norman behind home plate. In steps Nigel Buckley. He made his first start Sunday afternoon against the Arroyo Seco Saints. First pitch to him, borderline strike call there. Tough break for Buckley to start the at-bat. Buckley went 0 for 4 in Sunday's loss. Did throw a runner out at second. Chases one outside the zone, down 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner on third. Upstairs. Buckley shows patience. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Batter on deck is Alejandro Torres. Buckley goes down swinging. The catcher, Norman, has to throw over to first and does so in time. A strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. So after getting a leadoff walk, the Barons' next 3 hitters go down in order. On to the top of the 5th. Barons trail 5-2 here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Top of the 5th, we'll see the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the San Diego Waves. Let's revisit the standings while we have this break in the action. We mentioned that the Riptide are a game up on the Academy Barons here in the CCL style standings. The Santa Barbara Foresters are 15-4. Conejo Oaks are 12-7. Arroyo Seco Saints are 10-6 in 3rd place. The Orange County Riptide behind them, 9-10. A game up on the Academy Barons, who are 7-10. The Waves are behind the Barons at 2-4. The Bombers 2-7. Philippines Baseball Group 1-10. And that's the current standings in the California Collegiate League South Division. Remember, the top 3 teams get into the postseason. The Foresters compete in the NBC playoffs, which is over in the Midwest. So 3 teams after them right now would be the Oaks, Saints, and Riptide. But the Barons have a chance to sneak in, make up some ground. First pitch from Diaz to Nielsen, hit into the air. Torres over to his right. First out of the inning. No problem for the Barons. And the Barons are 7-10 on the season. Waves 2-4.
Number 7, Jacob Hudson.
Have won 5 of the past 8 games, and will need to continue playing well in the month of July to make up the ground. They're 7-3 at the Academy this season. 2 walk-off victories. A couple of shout-outs as well. Want to know the count to Jacob Hudson. He has reached twice, once via the walk and a single back in the first. 2-0 the count. Lorenzano was pulled after 3 innings, 60 pitches. 5 runs came across off 5 hits. 2 walks and a hit batter. Diaz takes over. Righty misses on 3 straight. Diaz had runners on first and second. Was able to strand both of them in the top of the 4th. Come set. In for strike one. Diaz is a native to Downey and went to Downey High School before Cypress College. Chopper, left side of the infield. Williams has to wait the big hop. Bare hand, no play as the runner was already at first base. Good attempt, but Hudson reaches on the infield single. 7th hit of the afternoon for the visiting San Diego Waves. In steps Connor Gomez. I struck out twice in today's contest. Decent sized lead at first. Waves haven't been aggressive. First pitch pop up on a bunt attempt. Gomez is out for the second out of the inning. Not what you planned there if your head coach Jake Rico wanted to sacrifice that runner over. Instead, runner on first, 2 outs. Anthony Tompkins steps up to the plate. He struck out in his last plate appearance, the third and final out. Final out of Lorenzano's line. Drives this high into the air, center field. Torres a few steps over to his left. Makes the grab for out number 3. Another effective inning for Sebastian Diaz out of the inning, or out of the bullpen. A runner does reach on the 1-out single, but Diaz strands him over there at first. On to the bottom of the 5th we go. Due up for the Academy Barons, 7-8-9. Torres will lead things off after this break. New pitcher on the mound, a right-hander who wears number 41 and stands at 6 foot, by the name of Joshua Johnson. So he takes over for Holden Garcia. He's a native to San Diego, went to Rancho Bernardo High School. A lot of talented players come out of that high school program. Just finished his freshman season at Western Oregon University. Western Oregon University competes in the GNAC, and they're in Division II. He made 9 appearances. 6 of those were starts. He finished with a record of 3-3 on the season. In 27 innings, he finished with an ERA of 5.60. 17 strikeouts in those 27 innings. 16 walks. That's this past spring for Joshua Johnson. And he's the new pitcher taking over. Or Holden Garcia. He's done after 45 pitches. First pitch to Torres, a breaking ball. Had Torres unsure if it was going to be a strike. But it's in there for strike 1. Right on the inside corner. Back-to-back tough pitches to start the at-bat. Torres will have to battle. Outside for ball 1. Torres reached on the air in the 3rd inning, came around to score on the single by Carrington. Lifts this high into the air, right side of the infield. Hudson at second base calls off his first baseman. Out number 1. First out of the bottom of the 5th, in steps J.J. Nielsen.
J.J. Nielsen.
So Holden Garcia's day is done after 4 innings. He threw 45 pitches, gave up 2 runs, both unearned, allowed only 1 hit, 1 walk, and had 5 strikeouts in the 4 innings. First pitch inside to Nielsen. Nielsen grounded out to their shortstop, Palmares, in the 3rd inning. This time it does catch the zone. 1-1 the count. Nielsen is a native to Cerritos, California. Went to Long Beach, Jordan. Skies this into the air, right center. Cook showing his range deep in right center. Calls off his right fielder, Thomas, and that's out number 2. Two cooked outs for the Barons. Garcia didn't really have to throw too many pitches, 45 after 4 innings. Sunday was very similar for the Saints starter. Zachary Erdman went 5 innings and only threw 53 out of first and second pitch outs the past couple of games for the Barons. Carrington steps back in. Created the exciting play at home plate, scoring on an inside the park home run. Goes down as a single. And an error by the center fielder Cook that allows him to come all the way to score, a 3-base error. Carrington, a native to Rancho Cucamonga. Played this past season at LA Valley College. Two and 1 the count. Gets to start at first base today. On the season, he's making his 5th start on the year. Outside for ball 3. They give Klonowski the night off. Del Villar slides to right field. Carrington steps in at first base. No Trevor Schmidt the rest of the season for the Barons. Barely catches the zone for strike 2. Pretty generous call for the new pitcher, Joshua Johnson. Chopper off the front leg of Carrington. He's in some pain as he walks it off. Count remains full. 2 outs, nobody on base. Bottom of the 5th inning. Waves have 5 runs off 7 hits, 2 errors defensively. Barons have 2 runs off 1 hit, no errors defensively. The 3-2. Carrington comes up empty, and that's a strikeout for out number 3. First strikeout of the outing for pitcher Joshua Johnson. Works a 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th. Barons still down 5-2. We'll see who's the new pitcher on the mound as we await to give you a name. Looks like it's a right-hander who wears number 12. J.J. Nolan takes over on the mound for the Academy Barons. We'll tell you a little bit more about him when we come back from this break. So J.J. Nolan is a new pitcher for the Academy Barons. 9-1-2 due up for the San Diego Waves. They lead 5-2. First pitch is on the ground. Past Mertz at second, and it's a leadoff single on the very first pitch of Nolan's outing. Leadoff single for the Waves. Alvarez comes up empty on the first pitch. 0-1 the count to the shortstop. He's 0 for 3. Breaking ball from Nolan is in for strike 2. So right now on the right side of the infield, the sun is in the face of Carrington and the runner Norman, as well as the umpire. Something that those three have to battle with at this time of the day. Breaking ball misses outside from Nolan. Nolan makes his 4th appearance on the summer. 3rd out of the bullpen. On the ground, Williams at 3rd. Over to 2nd for 1. On to 1st, not going to be in time. Palmares with good speed down the line. Avoids the double play. It's a fielder's choice for the shortstop. 5-4 for out number 1. Last week on June 27th, Nolan made the start against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Only lasted 2 outs. Back into his reliever role this week. First pitch, swung. Cook fouls it off to the left side. In his 2 outings before that, Nolan pitched 2 innings against the Oaks in relief on June 14th. Gave up 2 hits and 2 runs. First outing of the season came back on June 8th against the Foresters. 1 inning, 3 runs came across. So in 3 innings this summer, has given up 8 runs. Oh, 1 the count. Carrington holds. Hudson takes off. This one into the air for Torres in center field. The runner has to retreat back. Torres not going to have enough on that throw. It was Palmares at first base. A fly out to center field for out number 2. Palmares at first. Matthew Thomas steps in. Thomas is 2 for 2. A single and a 2-run home run. He also drew a walk in today's contest back in the 3rd inning. Downstairs for ball 1. Nolan is a native to Glendora. Spent this past season at Cal State Dominguez Hills. Familiarity with the catcher Nigel Buckley. In the dirt, Buckley can't find it. Runner advances to 2nd on the wild pitch. Nolan made 9 appearances for Cal State Dominguez Hills this past season. Features a fastball, slider, and a changeup. The 2-0 in the air for Del Villar in right field towards the line. Makes the grab for out number 3. So Nolan and the Barons are able to work around the leadoff single. They still trail. Bottom of the 6th we go. My name is Noah Alvarez. We'll stay on. Top of the order due up for the Academy Barons. The upcoming schedule for the Academy Barons this week. Tomorrow they'll host the Philippines baseball group. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. Thursday they'll travel to Santa Barbara to take on the Foresters on the road. Then on Sunday, the Barons will return home to take on the Orange County Riptide. The second time we'll see the Riptide here at the Academy. Those are the upcoming games. 2 on the road, 2 at home, 1 on the road for the Academy Barons and head coach Kenny Landreau. Barons chase 3 runs. Mertz, Williams, and Lujan, the 3 batters, due up. Let's see if we have a score update from Orange County as the Riptide host the San Diego Bombers. Still a scoreless game in the bottom of the first. Still on the mound for the San Diego Waves is Joshua Johnson. First pitcher in relief of Holden Garcia, who worked a clean 4 innings. 2 runs did come across, but both unearned runs. 2 errors defensively made by the Waves defense. They still have a commanding 3-run lead.
Coming to the plate for the Barons and leading off the bottom of the 6th, hitting number 9, Jim Barron.
In steps the second baseman, Mertz. Third at bat of the evening. First pitch wide to him. Johnson used 14 pitches to get out of the 5th inning. Mertz, strikeout victim twice in today's contest. 1-1 the count. Slaps this into left field. It'll drop. A leadoff single for the Academy Barons. Mertz guns for 2, takes the round, and shows off that speed. A leadoff double. Not a very hard hit ball off the end of the bat, but it's enough for a leadoff base runner in scoring position. 62 miles per hour off the bat. I know we like to read off the exit velocity when it's a hard hit home run or a laser, but that time, just a little blooper down the left field line. A runner on, in steps Nathaniel Williams. He leads the team in batting average, .444 on the season. He hit 2 home runs early on in the year. Hasn't hit a home run in the last 2.5 weeks. Could be due up at the plate. First pitch from Johnson. Williams holds back. Ball 1. Williams is 0 for 2 today. A fly out to left field in his last at-bat. Mertz at second. Drives this well into right field. He shows off the power, but it's well foul. 1-1 the count. One ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runner on second. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, we're joined by one of the outfielders for the Academy Barons, Hunter Backstrom. Thanks for making the time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
Runner on second. Here's the 1-2 to Williams. Drives this high into right field. Up against the wall. And it's going to be a 2-run home run for Nathaniel Williams.
That's my guy.
I think you're good luck now. You got to stay on for the rest of the game.
Now I got to stay on.
So the first question I wanted to ask you, as it's now a 5-4 game, how did the opportunity come about to play here at the Academy?
Oh, but that's through my good friend Shamir. He told me to come out here, and he's like, hey, you can make an impact for the Barons. And I was like, that's all I want to do is make an impact for somebody. So, yeah, so I just got my chance. TJ hit me up, and it's been money from there.
You were one of the players that trained at the academy growing up. What's it like to play now here at the college level?
Oh man, it's awesome, just just come out here, be with my guys, Bishop, KT. I grew up with them all my life, So it's just like coming out here just, being backyard baseball almost, you know what I mean?
Antonio Lujan steps in. It's a 1-0 count to the left fielder. 5-4 is the score after the 2-run home run by Nathaniel Williams. We're here with Hunter Backstrom, one of the outfielders for the Academy Barons. You played this past spring at West LA. How did you end up there at that college program this past season?
I did really good there at West LA. I batted 400, I believe. I did a little over 400. Made some great friends, lifetime friends. And honestly, yeah, it was just great. Honestly, it was great being out there, The guys support me there. They all support me. I support them. If they ever need something, they know to come to me. And, yeah, they respect me out there. I feel like I'm a leader out there in West LA. So that's all I can tell you.
You went to Sarah Gardena High School, a private school out there. How did you end up there? And I noticed there's a few other players on the roster that are out there. Did you get to connect with them back then?
So I think, as my brother, he went to Sarah first. And then because initially he went to St. John Bosco. So it was almost like, the coach changed, whatever. So then my mom and dad was like, hey, let's go to Sarah, try that out. And it's been good from there. And then obviously after that, I was like, mom was like, yeah, let's go to Sarah. So then, yeah, it's been at Sarah. And I know a couple of guys up there. And they know me because, I'm all American up there. And my name's a little banner at Sarah. So, yeah, they know me up there.
What was it like having an older brother also play baseball here at the academy and do his thing?
Oh, man, honestly, this is great, It's like just getting someone to be like, oh, that's your brother? Like, oh, that's dope, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't really know. Could look at the height comparison, but that's not your brother. You're supposed to be like 6'6" with him. And I'm like, nah, I didn't get to grow that way. So, But, yeah, it's been good because everyone, they respect my brother, so they respect me. And that's honestly all where it comes from, honestly.
What's one thing you learned from your brother growing up watching him play?
Oh, man, it's playing a game of failure, honestly. You know what I mean? You're playing a game and you're just going to keep on playing, And I learned that you're playing for yourself. Well, you're playing for the team, but you're playing for yourself. And what I mean by that is you're playing for yourself. You want to do good for yourself, but you also want to do it for the team. Because you do good for the team, then you're going to do good for yourself. Well, vice versa. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's something big he taught me. And they teach that throughout the minor leagues, honestly, just playing for yourself. Because honestly, at the end of the day, yes, you're playing for the mini scouts that are out here, but honestly, you're playing for the name on your back. And that's honestly what that's about.
There's a mound visit for the San Diego Waves. Runner on first after Lujan draws the walk. Again, we're here with Hunter Backstrom. How's the summer gone for you, and what have you learned from the Academy Barons coaching staff?
Oh man, summer's going great in my eyes. I think the summer's going great. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning, just learning myself more as I grow, honestly. Because I'm 20 years old. At first when I came out of high school, I didn't really know myself going to college. But as I got into college, experienced more things. You start learning yourself more. So that's what I learned. I definitely just learning myself more and how I grow, because everyone grows differently. So I learned how I grow, for sure.
First pitch to Del Villar into the air, right field, shallow for Thomas. Gloves it for the first out of the inning. You recently committed to play baseball this upcoming school year at UC Riverside. What went into that recruitment process?
The UCR coach, he initially recruited me at a high school. But I didn't have the grades, honestly, to go there at high school. So he was like, he hit me. I remember at the area code, he hit me. And then he was like, hey, you want to come to UC Riverside? And then he's like, send me your transcripts. And I was like, I got you. Sent them. Then he was like, yeah. And then he just had the grades for UC Riverside. I was like, I understand. But now, got my grades up and everything. So got the opportunity to play. And honestly, it's not even about the record. I know some people looking at UCR, the record and everything. It's not about the record, honestly. It's about getting an opportunity to play baseball with someone that understands baseball and just getting an opportunity to play, honestly. And that's what I want is opportunity to play Division I baseball.
0-1 the count, or 1-0 the count to Tommy Gooden. The DH steps in with the runner at first and one out.
Come on, T. Goody.
Stolen base attempt for Antonio Lujan. Throw gets the shortstop off the face. He's down in some pain. The trainer is going to be called out. Scary moment there. So while the trainer checks up on the shortstop Paul Maris, do you have a favorite baseball movie of all time?
Favorite baseball movie? Huh. I can't remember this baseball movie, but I can tell you what it's about. I think the dude's name was Jackie, but it's not a Jackie Robinson movie.
Okay.
His dude's named Jackie. He's a black dude, had earrings on, everything like that. A fashion dude. It was like a real cool. I can't remember who. I don't even know if it was Chris Tucker acting it, but it was for sure. No, it was like he's a funny black guy acting.
Was it
And he always
Mr.
wore
3000?
chains. I think it was.
Was Cedric? Not Cedric the Entertainer. Is it Cedric the Entertainer?
I think it was. But
What?
I know the dude who had like. I know he's kind of a short dude. And then he was like, he was a black dude. I can't remember the movie. Oh man, it was a good movie. It was funny. It was a funny movie, funny
Okay.
baseball movie. So I can't remember the name, but that's for sure one of my favorites. Top of the head, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. What's your pregame routine like as you get ready for a game?
Oh man, listen to music. Honestly, I'm a big music guy. I listen to music every day, every second day. Honestly, if I can, I listen to music anytime I can.
Okay.
'Cause I love music.
What are some artists and songs on that playlist?
Right now, I give my top 3 artists. I say right now it's Future, number 1. Let me see number 2. Number 2, I gotta go Ken Carson, number 2. I'm a big Ken Carson fan, number 2. And then I just gotta clap, you know. But number 3, I'm gonna say Young Thug. I like Young Thug a lot. So those are my top 3 right now, for sure.
Again, we're chatting here with Hunter Backstrom. It's a stolen base for Lujan. He's at second. We're still waiting the account. 1-1 is the count to Tommy Gooden. Austin Palmares is okay and going to stay in the game after a scary moment. He took a one-hopper off the face from the catcher's throw.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Runner in
That's
scoring
good.
position. Do you have a favorite baseball memory growing up?
Memory going to. Yeah, I do actually. Something I kind of remember. Dang it. But I say for sure going to Cooperstown, honestly. Cooperstown was something big. It was my first time really being away from like home. You know, being a kid, because you know you don't really get the chance to like, you know, be away from your parents. So you know you're doing everything you can that you wouldn't do at home. So yeah, I remember just being with my boys in there, and we all just have fun. I was injured at the time, but I still went though. I wanted to support my guys. I really wanted to be there. So yeah, so I for sure Cooperstown was my favorite.
Gooden gets hit by the pitch, so there's runners on first and second for Nigel Buckley.
That's my guy. I grew up with Nigel.
Another player that trained at the academy, right? Try to turn 2. On to first. It's in time, so a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. A couple more questions before you go.
Of course. Let me hear.
What's your favorite thing to snack on in the dugout?
Oh, please bring me more sunflower seeds, everybody. I am asking for sunflower seeds, please.
What flavor? What flavor?
Barbecue. Just give me barbecue seeds, guys.
Okay.
That's all I ask. If y'all give me barbecue seeds, you see a new me.
What's your favorite meal to eat pregame?
Pre-game, I like anything that has rice with it. I like if it could be chicken and I can eat ground turkey and rice 7 days of the week. I promise you. I don't know why, but anything with rice, like Chinese food, teriyaki, it can be. I just love rice. Anything with rice is good with me. So that's what I really can't tell you. It's really what I like.
Do you have a favorite place to eat back where you're from?
Oh yeah, I'm around the area. I like pho. Any pho spot. There's a pho spot in Pho Daily that I absolutely love. Oh man, it's called Pho Daily. It's in Gardena.
Okay.
Y'all
Pho
gotta
Daily
try
in
it
Gardena.
out. Y'all, it's really good. Or Pho Show. It's in Culver City.
Okay.
That plate, 2 best spots right there.
So what is it? Pho Daily and what was the other one?
And then Pho Show.
Pho Show. Okay. Right on.
Yeah.
And we were here with Hunter Backstrom during the bottom of the 6th inning. Appreciate you for making the time to hop on. And
Oh, of
it's a
course.
pleasure.
Thank you. Hey, thank you for having me here.
Of course. Best of luck this season.
Thank you so much.
So Makano Olaso will lead things off as he takes on J.J. Nolan for the first time this evening. Barons trail 5-4. The Waves have seen their lead dwindle. They haven't scored since the third inning. 3 runs in the first, 2 in the third. 5 runs off 8 hits. Chopper for Mertz at second base. Has to wait, has the time, and makes the throw over to first in time. 1 out. Nolan came in the game in the top of the 6th inning. Gave up a leadoff single and was able to work around. Picked up a ground out and 2 flyouts. Right-hander from Glendora, California. Pitched this last spring at Cal State Dominguez Hills. On the edge of the zone to Nielsen for the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Nielsen's 0 for 3. Still plenty of daylight. Lights are on here at the Academy. Pitch misses inside, 1-1. Barons have 2 runs in the third, 2 runs in the 6th. Trail 5-4 off 3 hits. Breaking ball, finds the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Nolan. On the ground again for Mertz. 1 hopper. Over to first in time for out number 3. Out number 2. 2 quick outs in the inning for J.J. Nolan. Third pitcher of the evening we're seeing here for the Academy Barons. Matthew Lorenzano started the game. Didn't have his A game as he allowed 5 runs in 3 innings off 60 pitches. Barons picked up 2 quality innings from Sebastian Diaz. And so far, an inning and 2/3 from J.J. Nolan without allowing a run. Upstairs for ball 2. Three straight misses here from the righty. 3-0 the count to Jacob Hudson. Hudson's one of 3 players from Saddleback College in the lineup today for head coach Jake Rico and the San Diego Waves. 4-pitch walk with 2 outs. The Waves have a 2-out base runner. Nolan looks a lot more confident in his first outing out of the bullpen since his start last Saturday against the Arroyo Seco Saints. First walk issued here on the outing as he looks to bounce back. Pinch hitter. Hitting in place of Connor Gomez's spot, Brendan Shanahan will get his first at-bat. Downstairs.
Your attention, please. Pitch hitting for the San Diego Waves. Play number 26, Brendan Shanahan.
Shanahan is listed as an outfielder. We'll see if he takes over at first base for Gomez or they move around some pieces defensively. Carrington holds the runner at first. It's a breaking ball for strike 1. Count even at 1-1. He hits in place of Gomez, who's 0 for 3. Gomez attempted a bunt and popped it up to the catcher, Buckley. Runner takes off. Buckley's throw down on a line. Nielsen applies the tag. And that's out number 3. Second runner caught stealing on the season for Buckley, the newest Academy Barons member. 2-6 for out number 3. Barons have some momentum. They picked up 2 runs in the home half of the 6th inning. Let's see if they have anything here in the home half of the 7th. When we come back, we'll stay on. It's a traditional 7th inning stretch. Again, my name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Brendan Shanahan will lead things off. So new pitcher to tell you about. for the San Diego Waves. A couple defensive substitutions as well. We'll relay those to you as we get them in. But the new pitcher is right-hander by the name of Aiden Kulbik. Wears number 42. From Rockland, California, which is over in Northern California, up by Sacramento County, if you're familiar with that area. So Johnson last 2 innings, uses 32 pitches, does give up 2 runs. The Barons have now picked up 2 runs against both the starter, Holden Garcia, and 2 runs against the reliever, Joshua Johnson. They trail 5-4. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. First of 3 home games this week for the Academy Barons. Tomorrow night they take on the Philippines baseball group. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. First pitch Sunday, scheduled at 4 o'clock. It's been moved from their usual 1:05 p.m. time. They'll host the Orange County Riptide. So a mass substitution package coming in for the Waves. And while we were grabbing the substitutions, Torres grounded out to the third baseman. New shortstop takes over. Jacob Hudson moves from second to short. And making an over-the-shoulder catch is Matthew Thomas. He's now at first base. 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Academy Barons here in the home half of the inning. Aiden Kulbek is the new pitcher on the mound. One and 2 the count to Jordan Carrington. Another pitch misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kulbik used 2 pitches to record the first 2 outs. Carrington works him to a 2-2 count now. Nobody on base in the bottom of the 7th. Barons down to their final 7 outs. This run runs away from the left-handed hitter. So Tyler Covington takes over in center field for Elijah Cook. Dimitri Sasidko takes over in left for Anthony Tompkins. Connor Gomez is out of the game. Brendan Shanahan hits in place of him. He plays right field. Carrington comes up empty on the swing. Taking over at first base is Matthew Thomas. We'll reset the defense in the bottom of the 8th inning as there was plenty of substitutions by the San Diego Waves. Barons go down 1-2-3 inning with the new pitcher on the mound. When we come back, the top of the 8th, 7-8-9 due up for the San Diego Waves. New pitcher on the mound for the Academy Barons, a right-hander. Played this past season at Golden West College. Stands at 6'4", by the name of Elias Valdez. First pitch poked out into right field. A leadoff single for Brendan Shanahan. And the San Diego Waves, they lead 5-4. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Valdez on the season makes his 7th appearance for the Academy Barons. He does have 2 saves on the season. He's been thrown into a few high-pressure situations late into games. This time the Barons are trailing. Top of the 8th. Another first pitch swing. Foul ball right side. Both the Barons and the Waves have been aggressive, swinging at the first pitch. It's the first at-bat we're seeing of Dimitri Sasidko. He takes over in left field, hitting in place of Anthony Tompkins. Sasidko, another player in the lineup now from Saddleback Community College. Lots of good speed. No balls and 2 strikes to count to the new left fielder. We'll reset the defense for you for the Academy Barons. Nigel Buckley behind home plate. Nathaniel Williams at third. J.J. Nielsen at short. Chip Mertz at second. Carrington holds the runner at first. Foul ball, out of play. Shanahan pinch hit for Gomez. And it was on the in the batter's box when Hudson was caught stealing to end the 7th inning. Another foul ball here by Sasidko. In 6 innings, Valdez has an ERA of 3 flat. 7 strikeouts to go along with 3 walks. A record of 0-1. He did blow the save opportunity against the Riptide on the June 15th. Downstairs, 1-2. Valdez will feature a fastball, splitter, and a slider on the mound. Played 2 seasons at Golden West College. Upstairs for ball 2. Shanahan's the runner at first base. 9th hit of the contest for the Waves. Barons have 3. Outside for ball 3. So Sasidko runs the count full. We'll see if the runner is put into motion on the pitch. Nobody out. Shanahan the runner at first. Top of the 8th. Waves lead 5-4. There's the breaking ball, and that's strike 3. Sasidko down looking for the first out of the inning. That slider sweeping across the zone. Catches the very tail end. Valdez went to Kennedy High School, which is over in La Palma, one of the last cities in Orange County. First pitch to the catcher, Nate Norman, is another breaking ball and for a strike. Norman picked up a single in his last at-bat against J.J. Nolan. He's 2 for 2, has reached all 3 times. Behind on that fastball. 90 on the radar gun from Valdez. His fastball can top out at 91. Close miss there. Valdez wanted that call along with the rest of the Barons. Instead of being outnumbered 2, it's a 1-2 count to the catcher. Batter on deck is the leadoff hitter, Austin Palmares. Good to see him in the game still after taking one off the face. Norman goes down via the strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Elias Valdez. 2 outs. There's a runner still at first for the San Diego Waves. Palmares, we mentioned, was hit. When we had Hunter Backstrom on, there was a runner in Antonio Lujan attempting to steal second. He got in ahead of the tag on the hop on the throw down. Palmares wasn't able to pick it, and it got him in the face. He went down in some pain, but was able to get up and stay in the game. He's behind in the count, 0-1. He's 0 for 3, has reached twice, scored in the first inning after being hit by a pitch. Beautiful breaking ball from Valdez, and that's an 0-2 count. Wynn pushing out towards right field. In the home half of the 8th, we'll see the top third of the order. Mertz, Williams, and Lujan do up. Runner takes off. Foul ball off the mask of Buckley. He winced in some pain, but seems to be all right. The runner Shanahan retreats back to first base. 0-2 count. Palmares steps back in. The 0-2 from Valdez. Upstairs. 1-2 the count. Valdez comes set. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball. Palmares just taps it foul and stays alive. The batter on deck is Tyler Covington. It would be the first at bat for him the next time he comes up to the plate. He takes over for Elijah Cook in center field. Valdez delivers on home, and he sets down the batter for the 3rd out of the inning. Throw over to first by Buckley. 3 strikeouts after giving up the leadoff walk or leadoff single. Valdez able to work himself outside the jam. On our way to the bottom of the 8th inning, Mertz, Williams, and Lujan will lead things off. Don't go anywhere, folks. Find out if the Barons have a comeback brewing late in this game. Barons trail by 1 run in the bottom of the 8th inning. 5-4 is the score. Mertz will lead things off. It's the top of the order due up for the Academy Barons. The Barons do already have 2 walk-off wins on the season. Once against the Bombers. Another against the Conejo Oaks. First pitch from Kulbick is in for a strike. Foul ball, back to the net. No balls and 2 strikes. Mertz is 1 for 2. Picked up a double in his last at-bat. Came around to score on the 2-run home run by Nathaniel Williams. He steps out. Back in the batter's box. He awaits the 0-2 pitch from Kulbeck. Check swing, no swing. Moves the count to 1-2. Third pitcher of the evening we're seeing here for the San Diego Waves. Holden Garcia to start. Joshua Johnson, first man in relief. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kulbeck played this past season at Sierra College. Made 16 appearances. Outside for ball 3. Kulbeck back onto the rubber. The full count pitch, Mertz on the ground for the shortstop, Palmares. Picked out by Thomas at first base, and that's out number 1. In steps Nathaniel Williams. We mentioned right before he went yard in his last at-bat, he was due for a home run. He hit 2 home runs in his first 2 games of the season. Sorry, in that opening weekend of the season. However, hadn't hit a home run in 2.5 weeks. He delivered on a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 6th. Let's see if he has more magic in him late in this game. First pitch misses well wide. Williams started 34 games for the Santa Ana Dons this past spring as a freshman. Switch hitter has only hit from the left side this evening. All righties on the mound for the Waves. Chopper, right side of the infield. Kulbeck fields it late. Throw over to first in time. A close play. Kulbeck seemed like he was indecisive on whether to grab that ball or not. It is the second out of the inning. Barons are down to their final 4 outs. In steps Antonio Lujan, the 3-hitter. Hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. Nearly gets clipped there. Oh for 1 on the evening. Hit by pitch and a walk. Outside for ball 2. Lujan also has power to go yard here for the Academy Barons. His only home run of the season came back in the first game of the year on June 6th. It's almost a month away. A 3-0 count. Let's see if he gets the green light or something good to hit here. Up in the count, 3-0. Misses the zone on 4 straight. Kulbeck walks his first batter of the outing. It extends the inning for Jason Del Villar. Another very solid hitter in the middle of the lineup for the Barons. As a team, the Barons are hitting .271 on the season. Currently 3rd best in the CCL. We saw the Saints most recently on Sunday. They're the best hitting team, currently hitting .284 on the season. Lujan at first. Del Villar steps in. First pitch swing. Foul ball off the catcher. Lujan is the runner at first. He represents the tying run. Del Villar steps back in. Awaits the 0-1. Off the glove of the catcher towards the third base dugout. Lujan is at second. Stays put. There's a runner in scoring position after the wild pitch. You might rule that a pass ball. Very catchable ball for the man behind the plate, and Nate Norman. He resets himself after taking off his mask. 1-1 the count to Del Villar. Del Villar hit the 3-run home run in Sunday's loss to the Saints over the right field wall. It's power to all sides of the field. Right up the middle, into inner center field past the diving second baseman. Lujan takes the churn. He touches home plate. Del Villar gets into second, and it's a tie game. Del Villar ties it up. 5-5 is the score in the bottom of the 8th. Just like that, it's a brand new ball game here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Number 47, Tommy Gooden.
In steps Tommy Gooden, the DH. Was the hero a couple of Sundays ago. Hit the walk-off 3-run home run against the Oaks. Barons won that game 8-7. Gooden, a very talented freshman from Vanderbilt. Native to Thousand Oaks. Big swing, big miss. Evens the count at 1-1. All the players in the Barons dugout up on the feet. We've already seen a few exciting endings here at the Academy this season. Could be in store for another 2-1 as this one misses in the dirt. The second inning of relief for pitcher Aiden Kolbeck. Lujan reached via a walk, got the second on a pass ball, and on the RBI double, scores. Gooden slaps this into left field, carrying a little bit, but making the catch. In left field is Dimitri Sasidko, and that's the third and final out. So Gooden is retired. Barons do tie things up here in the bottom of the 8th. 5-5 is the score. On to the top of the 9th we go. Elias Valdez still on the mound for the Academy Barons. We'll stay on during this inning break. And my name is Noah Alvarez, saying thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. This is the first of 3 home games this week. Barons finished the month of June at a record of 7-10, but they won 5 of their last 8 games. And we'll look to carry that hot streak into the month of July. They're 1 game back of the Orange County Riptide for the 3rd and final playoff spot. Playoffs wouldn't be until July 28th, a few Mondays from now. We're at the halfway point of the season. So these games matter, especially when you look at the Waves, an inferior team, a record of 2-4, an affiliate team as well. They've been on the road a lot this season. Barons have to try and come out with the victory tonight. Elias Valdez stays on the mound for the top of the 9th inning. He gave up a leadoff single to Brandon Shanahan on the very first pitch, but struck out the very next 3 batters. 4th pitcher of the evening we're seeing for Kenny Landreau and the Barons coaching staff. Matthew Lorenzano started the game, gave up 5 runs in 3 innings. But since then, the combination of Sebastian Diaz, J.J. Nolan, and now Elias Valdez have shut the door on the San Diego Waves. They haven't scored since the 3rd inning. 3 runs in the first, 2 in the 3rd, 5 runs off 9 hits, 2 errors. Barons have 5 runs off 4 hits. No errors defensively. That's been a big key for the Barons win. Winning ways the last week and a half or so. Barons picked up 2 runs in the 3rd inning, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th. It's a brand new ball game. 5-5 is the score. Tyler Covington gets his first at-bat of the evening. Hits for Elijah Cook, who had a very subpar game, both offensively and defensively. 0 for 4 at the plate. Made an error in center field that allowed Carrington to score on an inside-the-park home run. Valdez, first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. No one on base. Valdez from the windup. Right on the edge of the zone. Evens the count at 1-1. The 1-1 from Valdez. Covington helps him out there. 1-2 the count. The Waves tomorrow will take on the West Coast Bulldogs in the Western Baseball Association, the WBA, the other league they play in. The 1-2 from Valdez misses upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Barons will be back home tomorrow to take on the Philippines baseball group. 5-5 is the score late in this one. Foul tips it into the glove. Buckley hangs on, and that's out number 1. In the home half of the inning, the Barons will send up their 6, 7, 8 hitters. Nigel Buckley, Alejandro Torres, and J.J. Nielsen are the 3 batters due up, barring any substitutions. Valdez hopes to keep the score the same in the top of the 9th. Downstairs, off the chest plate of Buckley, Matthew Thomas, who is now playing first base. 2 for 3 on the evening. Breaking ball right outside the zone, apparently. 2-0. Thomas hit the 2-run home run in the top of the first inning to give the Waves their first lead of the game. Drew a walk in the 3rd, singled in the 4th. Upstairs, off the padding. Three 3-0 the count. Thomas this past season played at UC Berkeley. 4 straight misses by Valdez, and it's a 1-out walk. A base runner for the San Diego Waves. We'll see how Valdez responds. Another dangerous hitter in the lineup in Makana Alaso. Alaso's 2 for 4 on the evening. Has been quiet since the 3rd, like many of the Waves hitters. A double in the 1st, and that 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. In the zone for strike 1. He redshirted this past school year for the University of Hawaii baseball team. Carrington holds Thomas at first base. Peel down to first. First base umpire says no swing. Count even at 1-1. Alaso steps back in. The 1-1 pitch. Seen that very same pitch be called a strike earlier. It's now a ball. 2-1 the count to Alaso. Breaking ball misses inside. Valdez in danger of walking back-to-back hitters. Three and 1 the count. Thomas, the runner at first. Andreas Nielsen, the batter on deck. Pitch from Valdez, a foul ball. Alaso behind on that fastball there. In at 91. Alaso takes a big breath before he steps back in. Big pitch and an at-bat here for the Barons and the Waves. 3-2. Runner on first, 1 out. Runner takes off, and it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Pitching coach A.J. Monterez will call time to talk to his pitcher. Big spot here. You want, obviously, Valdez to finish the inning. However, they might get some guys up and moving in the bullpen. In a tie game, 5-5 is the score. As A.J. Monterez talks with Elias Valdez and Nigel Buckley. Top of the 9th inning. Barons are back one game on the Orange County Riptide, who are currently in the 3rd and final playoff spot. When looking at the playoff picture, the Oaks are sitting in 1st. The Saints are in 2nd. Riptide a game up on the Barons. They're 9-10 on the season. We'll see if there's a score update from that game going on. They're hosting the San Diego Bombers. It's currently 1-1 in the bottom of the 4th inning between the Bombers and the Riptide. So we're keeping a close eye on that game. The implications on the Barons and where they might finish or where they might end up if they win tonight or lose. Either way, an important game for the Barons to start off the month of July with a victory. In steps Andreas Nielsen. He's 0 for 4. A favorable matchup for Valdez and the Barons. Ground ball could get them 2. The Waves don't have a lot of speed on the base path, so the Barons fielders do have time on whatever base they choose to drew. Valdez starts him off with the strike, 0-1. Thomas the runner at 2nd, Olaso at 1st. Also in the zone for strike 2. Back-to-back pretty pitches there from Valdez in a big spot. The 0-2, high and wide. Set a pitch for Elias Valdez. Jacob Hudson is a batter on deck. He's 2 for 2 and has reached all 4 times for the San Diego Waves. Ground ball would be clutch here for the Barons and Valdez. Valdez comes home. Check swing in the dirt off the knee pad. Now going for home. Buckley throwing over to Valdez, not in time. A run scores for the Waves, a 2-base error. And it's now a 6-5 game. Scoring from 2nd is Matthew Thomas. Olaso is at 3rd base. Because there was a runner at 1st, Nielsen is out automatically on the strikeout for out number 2. Bit of bad fortune and lack of hustle there from the Barons. 2 outs. They trail now 6-5. Another run 90 feet away for the Waves. And steps Jacob Hudson. Hudson watches this one catch the outer part of the zone. Saw a pitch similar to that on Sunday's game when Nigel Buckley kicked up off the knee pad when Amari Yolas was at the plate. Outside for ball 1. Nothing you can do when the ball in the dirt kicks off your knee pad that high, but Buckley sort of lackadaisically walked to that ball, and that allowed Thomas to come in to score from 2nd base. Inside for ball 2. Momentum in favor of the Waves as of now. The 2-1. Powers it past Hudson for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 outs in the inning. Hudson steps back in. Olaso the runner at 3rd base. Valdez delivers another pitch in the dirt. Buckley makes sure this one stays in front of him. First base is open. The batter on deck is Brendan Shanahan. Foul ball out of play behind us. Count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Seems like the skunk has made an appearance again in right field. Towards right center. To the left of Jason Del Villar from our angle where we're sitting here. Hudson steps back in. Valdez on the mound. The 3-2. Pokes this one on the ground. Mertz to his right. Dives and can't get to it. A 2-run inning for the Waves. They lead 7-5. Both the shortstop and the second baseman were playing wide of the second base bag. A lot of room up the middle on that last pitch. Hudson makes them pay. He's now reached 5 times, 3 singles and 2 walks. Valdez still has a job to do. Got the 3rd and final out. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Shanahan steps in. Upstairs. Ball 1. Want to know the count to Shanahan. In his first at bat, he had a single. Foul ball out of play behind us. 1-1 the count. The Barons won't see the Waves again until Thursday, July 17th. It'll be quite some time before the Waves come to town. It's the halfway point of the season here in the CCL. The 1-1 from Valdez. Ball 2. We take on the Philippines baseball group tomorrow. Foresters on the road on Thursday. Riptide on Sunday. The following week, they take on the Oaks, Bombers, Riptide, Foresters, and end the week with the Riptide at the Great Park in Irvine. Chopper off the leg of Shanahan. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Barons. Buckley, Torres, and Nielsen. We'll see if there's a new pitcher on the mound for the San Diego Waves. Both runs came in to score off walks issued by Elias Valdez with 1 out in the inning. Upstairs for ball 3. Batter on deck is Dmitry Sasidko. Valdez does have 2 strikeouts in the inning. The payoff pitch, high chopper for Williams at third base. Strong throw over to first in time, and that's out number 3. Not before 3 runs or 2 runs come across for the San Diego Waves. Both walks come in to bite Elias Valdez. An RBI single by Jacob Hudson. Matthew Thomas, the first runner, scored on the wild pitch by Elias Valdez. New pitcher on the mound. Where's number 16? Right-hander by the name of Lucas Aguirre. Stands at 5'10", native to Encinitas. So that's the end of the day of Aiden Kulbick. Barons worked hard. Still have a chance to come back and win this one. They trail 7-5 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Nigel Buckley, Alejandro Torres, and J.J. Nielsen will get things started. Barons picked up 2 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 6th, 1 in the 8th. They trailed by 2. Waves have 7 runs off 10 hits, 2 errors. The Barons went quiet offensively, 5 runs off 4 hits. They scored 2 of those runs off errors back in the 3rd inning against starter Holden Garcia. 4th pitcher of the evening for the San Diego Waves. Holden Garcia started the game, worked a clean 4 innings. Joshua Johnson followed with 2 innings of his own. Aiden Kulbick used 25 pitches to go 2 innings. And now we're going to see Lucas Aguirre. So Lucas Aguirre, the new pitcher. We'll tell you a little bit more about him. And thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you can, try and make it out to one of the home games this week. Tomorrow night against the Philippines baseball group, and Sunday evening, time change, 4 p.m. against the Orange County Riptide. Those are the two other home games this week. In steps Nigel Buckley. He'll face the new pitcher, Lucas Aguirre. Aguirre pitched this past season at Southwestern College. Made 13 appearances, 8 starts on the season, 22 innings. Finished with an ERA of 8.46. Buckley helps him out on the first one. Chases one in the dirt. 0-1 the count. Buckley's 0 for 3. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Drives this one up the middle. Kicked off the mound. No trouble for Palomares. At short, out number 1. In steps Alejandro Torres. Barons are down to their final 2 outs. Do they have some more magic on this Tuesday evening? We've seen a few exciting finishes this season. Back on June 6th, they walked off against the Bombers, won that game 6-5. First pitch at the knees for strike 1. Then 2 Sundays ago against the Oaks, the Barons walked off in the bottom of the 9th. 8-7 was the final score. Torres fooled by that pitch, down in the count 0-2. And Lucas Aguirre is the new pitcher. Nobody on base, 1 out. Torres fouls this off. Torres is a Sacramento native up in Northern California. Reached on an error in the 3rd, came around to score on the RBI single by Carrington. 0 for 3 on the evening as well. Upstairs, 1-2. 1-2 the count. On the ground, towards the 6 hole. Deep into the hole, it's a throw from the shortstop Palomares, not in time. Torres able to leg it out, an infield single. That could be just what the Barons needed, a base runner. Put the Waves in an uncomfortable position in Sunday's game against the Arroyo Seco Saints. They did have 2 runners on. They were down by 4 when Tommy Gooden grounded out to end the game. This time they're down by 2. Nielsen represents the tying run. Drives this well into center field. Torres halfway. In center field, making the catch. Now Torres is going to tag from first to second. Heads up base running there as Tyler Covington had to go a long way into the track. 366 feet. Maybe 10 more feet or so. That would have been off the wall or even a home run for the Academy Barons. Runner in scoring position now for Jordan Carrington. Top of the order follows, so Carrington has to find a way to get on base. Quick conversation between Norman the pitcher, or Norman the catcher, and his pitcher, Lucas Aguirre. Carrington steps in. Aguirre from the stretch. First pitch, foul ball left side. On 1 the count to Carrington. Carrington's 1 for 3. Had the exciting inside the park home run earlier in the game in the 3rd inning. Foul ball into the net. Barons down to their final strike. Torres at second base. Carrington takes a deep breath before he steps back in. Here's the pitch from Aguirre. Outside the zone. 1-2. Big hole on the left side of the infield with the shortstop Palmares holding the runner. The 1-2, Carrington goes down swinging for out number 3. So the Waves come out victorious. With the win, the Waves advance to 3-4 on the season, while the Barons drop to 7-11. They start off the month of July with the loss. They now are 5-9 in their last, or they've won 5 of their last 9 games, and are a bit of a cold streak after what seemed like they were picking up some momentum the last week and a half. The losing pitcher is Elias Valdez. The winning pitcher is Aiden Kulbick. Lucas Aguirre gets the save as he records the final 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. We want to say thank you to Oliver and TJ for their help with the broadcast today. We also want to say thank you to Hudson La Barbera and Hunter Backstrom for joining us on the broadcast earlier today. Remember, in case you missed those interviews live, you can always tune in to the replay on the YouTube channel. We'll go ahead and timestamp those interviews for you, and when you go into the description, you can click on those links, and you'll be able to, it'll take you right to the interview at that point in the ball game. Again, thanks again to Hudson La Barbera, Hunter Backstrom. The winning pitcher is Aiden Kulbick. Lucas Aguirre gets the save. Elias Valdez hit with the loss. Academy Barons fall by a score of 7-5 as they advance to 7-11 on the season. The Barons return home tomorrow to take on the Philippines baseball group. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. It'll be a bullpen game for the Barons. No projected starter yet. Tune in about 10 minutes before first pitch. 5:55, we'll go live and preview the matchup between both those teams. And Sunday, they'll return home to take on the Orange County Riptide. First pitch scheduled at 4 p.m. For Oliver, TJ, Hudson La Barbera, Hunter Backstrom, my name is Noah Alvarez, saying thank you for tuning in for Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. I hope you guys have a good night, and we'll catch you next time.